An exciting English match. And they've done it late once again, man. They just have a knack for that late goal, don't they? Hey, I'm Adrian and welcome to Euro Daily and thanks for joining me. And the tournament is almost over. Appreciate all the new names in the comment section and anyone who is just silently watching. I see you guys, don't worry. I am a silent watcher myself on other channels. So let's jump in. So England had the same shape as against Switzerland, but swap out Konsa for the returning Mark Gahey. Netherlands also had the same starting 11 as against Turkey, but swap Bergwijn for Daniel Malen. One of the biggest personnel changes though, the Saxman. He is now going for the Dutch. Well, was. Xavi Simons opened the scoring with a goal that could only be described as an absolute rocket. Collecting the ball in England's midfield, he drove toward the box and unleashed a, well, absolute rocket. Beautiful goal and treated to a goal just 7 minutes in. Come on, let's go. And as my man Peter Drury made note of, England conceded first in their third consecutive knockout round match in this tournament. Peter Drury, a man born to the weary streets of Witham, with a voice stronger than the winds of Commonwealth Bay, Antarctica, and a tongue sharper than Valyrian steel. I'll never do that again, but how is that for an attempt at a Druryism? I need to work on it. Consider it a work in progress that you'll never see again. Then the penalty drama, Kane on the volley. Dumfries challenged for it as he's entitled to do, but Kane's follow through connected with the bottom of Dumfries' boot. I don't know. It's one that I can kind of understand why it's given, but I really feel for Dumfries. Perhaps a bit untidy on his part, but then again, as a defender, what are you supposed to do? He had the right to go for it. Maybe it's because his studs were showing. Kane, he had the right to go for it. Obviously, he's striking at goal, and it was a bit of a coming together between the two. I wonder if it hadn't hit his studs, if it would have been a penalty. Based on what I saw from a lot of my English friends, they were laughing at that penalty decision as them getting away with one. Vizé, Stephen McInerney, at the Bridge boys, even Jamie Carragher, not a friend, he's not, was saying that it was never a pen, so... And I think that this whole thing about clear and obvious errors has been completely forgotten when it comes to VAR. Was that a clear and obvious error by the referee? No, then keep the on-field decision. But unfortunately, with all of the referee drama surrounding this match, it makes you wonder if that pressure on the referee's wear and the scrutiny from the English side would have affected his decision. No idea, but the big question is why the hell did UEFA even allow this guy to officiate this match? Not just this one, but matches in general at the top level. If you didn't know, he served a ban previously for match fixing, and he and Bellingham have a history as Bellingham called this out a few years ago after a match that he officiated. So naturally, with that swirling, every call that Swayer made will have that extra scrutiny, that extra pressure when it comes to calls that would go against England. I don't know, man. It seems like a major unnecessary call that UEFA made that just didn't have to happen. You could have any referee. It didn't have to be him. Don't open that Pandora's box. Just keep it shut. Get a different box. Anyway, from the spot, Kane hit it brilliantly. You cannot argue with that. His 66th goal for England, and they won the World Cup in '66. Is this an omen? Do you believe in numerology? I believe in entertaining football. And in a knockout round that has provided some drab matches, this game did not follow that trend, as England and the Netherlands took turns attacking each other, and I can confidently say that this was England's best performance so far, not just in the knockout rounds, but in this tournament in general. If this England had showed up earlier in the tournament, they would have met my expectations that I had for them pre-tournament, knowing that Southgate could hold them back potentially, and it seems like he did so. Well, Foden had a couple of fantastic moments in this match after England leveled. The first being a run into the box that saw him wriggle the ball under Verbruggen, but Dumfries was there to stop it on the line. Fantastic defending from him. Later, Foden would cut inside and curl one toward goal that hit the post and went out. Think of Yamal's goal from yesterday against France, but just the wrong side of the post. This man was a nightmare all day for the Netherlands, and what a surprise. No, it's where he's best, in that inside right channel. Prior to that Foden attempt off of the post, Dumfries had a header go off of the England crossbar from a corner kick, so the back and forth nature of this match was just fantastic to watch. Although as the half went on, England were definitely the more ball dominant team, while the Netherlands looked to catch them on the counter. Memphis Depay went out with an injury, and Koeman decided to bring on a third midfielder instead of an attacker as Veerman replaced Depay. Malen went central, and Simmons went to the flank, while Veerman was the more advanced of the three central midfielders. England had been quite dominant and running over the midfield, so perhaps Koeman wanted to shore up the middle of the pitch a bit. I assume that was the aim. Then at halftime, he actually swapped out Malen for Weghorst. I would have liked to have seen Malen stay out there on the right, Simmons through the middle, but he made his choice. We would have to see how they would look in the middle of the park. And while England was definitely the stronger side in the first half, it wasn't overwhelmingly stronger. Netherlands still looked quite dangerous whenever they would venture forward and ended the half with a decent bit of pressure in the England box. But still, overall, a fantastic performance from England thus far. Menu and Foden, the standouts for me on that England side in the first half at least. And I gotta say, once again, Koeman's changes worked pretty well. I really have to give this man credit for how he has managed the Netherlands in this half, as England had great difficulty in breaking them down in the second and reaching that Dutch goal. After 20 minutes of the second half, they didn't have a single attempt. Meanwhile, the Dutch looked dangerous on the counter. Those three midfielders made all the difference. So well done to Koeman on that one. But I still couldn't help but think how much better they would have looked with that front four of Simmons, Gakpo, Depay, and Weghorst. It's too bad we didn't get to see that. From a free kick, Van Dijk nearly beat Pickford, if not for a great save from the keeper. Then from the corner kick, Dumfries was unable to get his attempt on target. Now, speaking of changes, I find that this is where Southgate has been very frustrating. Not always when it comes to the actual personnel changes, but how long it takes him to make these changes. He is very much reactive, or he had been. So long as England weren't losing, he would just let his team continue to play without changing anything or to go for a goal. But he finally made a positive change in the 79th minute, and it was a brave one. Kane and Foden off for Palmer and Watkins. Remember those names. Reasons for the Dutch to be frustrated by the officiating, with that Stones header that went out for a goal kick for England. That doesn't make sense. Or Gakpo getting by Guehi as the English defender had his arm across Gakpo and he calls a foul on Gakpo. And when England go up the pitch, they score. That is brutal for the Netherlands. That said, get this out of the way. For Watkins' part, it was a beautiful goal, a good run, gets himself into a position with his back to goal, but backs himself at that angle and rips it low past Verbruggen. Take nothing away from Watkins, that was brilliant. A brilliant goal from England in general, who had no say in the officiating, right? But it probably shouldn't have happened. It wasn't a foul in the lead up. But hey, England win the match. They make the Euros 2 tournaments in a row, and for the first time in their history, they will play in a tournament final on foreign ground. That's crazy. And also, massive credit to Southgate, as two of his substitutes link up for yet another late goal. They were threatening. You also had Saka's goal that was disallowed earlier, as when England would get forward, they looked dangerous. So a massive credit to them. Great performance in the last bit of that second half, and for the entirety of the first half, by far their best performance. Southgate, another final. Wow. Unfortunately, not a good performance from the referee. Little things like this non-foul from Gakpo that led to the goal. Little fouls that went against the Netherlands. The corner kick that was missed, plus the penalty. Just made you question once again, was it suitable to have this referee officiate this match, knowing the pressure he would be on from the English side of things, given his history with Jude Bellingham? I don't know. It's just an unnecessary appointment from UEFA for this match that Dutch supporters and some neutrals will point to in such a close match, especially given how both of England's goals came from debatable decisions by the referee. But even with that said, because more than one thing can be true, right? Even with the officiating being poor, I don't think that the Dutch defense was good enough in this tournament. They haven't been all tournament long, whether they're playing their zigzag back line against Austria or losing sight of 3 Turkish attackers at the back post, how they were cut open by England at times in this match. Spain would have loved to have played against either of these sides, honestly. So a big congratulations to England. They'll be facing Spain in the final on Sunday the 14th in a match where I think it's safe to say they won't be the favorites. But favorites don't always win, right? I'll have a preview video out for you guys very soon, probably tomorrow. We'll see. Beyond that, I thank you for joining me once again. Subscribe if you're new. And we're almost at the end of this tournament, guys. Kind of sad about that. All right. Ciao.